Once upon a time, in the vast realm of gaming, a game that would become a legend in its own right. It was the beginning of a game that emerged from the depths of cyberspace to capture the hearts and minds of millions of players around the world. The story of this game begins with pixels and lines of code, but it quickly evolves into an epic tale of competition, strategy, and passion. Here is the birth of the third version of Warcraft, also called Warcraft 3: Reign of Chaos. This game is a real-time strategy game set in an imaginary world that challenges players who control different factions to conquer territories, collect resources, and defeat their enemies. At that time, Warcraft 3 was so famous for its strategic gameplay that people from the community started to create their own personalized cards with unique game. Is the birth of mods. You can find big names such as Tower Defense, which is a mod in which players have to build defensive towers to stop waves of enemies trying to reach a specific point on the map, or Run Kitty Run, in which one player controls a cat while the other players try to catch it. The cat must survive as long as possible by avoiding obstacles and using power-ups. But today, the mod that interests us has a completely different gameplay, offering an innovative gaming experience where players control a single character with special abilities. Unlike classic games where you manage an entire army, here you play as a powerful hero with its own unique skills and features. Guided by their ingenuity and love for strategy games, they embarked on an unprecedented creative adventure. Inspired by the game mechanics of Warcraft 3, they imagined a world where heroes stand alone against adversity, where every sword stroke and spell counts. Their nights were filled with dreams of epic battles and legends to come. They worked tirelessly, tweaking every detail, refining every mechanics to create an unforgettable gaming experience. And finally, their hard work paid off. From this laboratory of creativity was born a revolutionary mod, a mod that would reinvent the genre, a mod that would become a legend. Defense of the Ancients, more commonly known as Dota, in which two teams of 5 players compete whose main objective is to destroy the opposing base while defending his own. Dota laid the foundations of the multiplayer online battle arena genre, and its success is such that it landed in the United States. Everyone was playing this game, including Brandon Beck and Mark Merrill. These guys play a lot at Dota, so much that they decide to organize a tournament at the University of South Carolina reserved for students. The tournament serves as a pretext for recruiting partners, and it worked so well that they create their own company focused on the idea of offering gamers of all stripes a unique game, but which would take the time to evolve, to adapt to the best to their desires. To do this, they will choose to take inspiration from the free-to-play model then booming in the Asian market. For those who do not know, free-to-play is a free game concept. However, the game can include optional paid elements, such as skins, extra characters, cosmetic items, or in-game perks, which players can purchase to customize their experience or progress faster. This model allows players to access the game completely free of charge, eliminating the financial barrier to entry and expanding the game's potential audience. Their project isn't just about focusing on the American continent, rather, it encompasses the entire planet. It is with this perspective that they develop a game both complex and magical, a game in which developers listen to the community. That is why in 2009 they released their own version of Dota, League of Legends. In the beginning, League of Legends was just another title on the online gaming scene. Early followers found simple pleasure in battling mythical champions on a map called Summoner's Rift. But as the years passed, something magical happened. League of Legends ceased to be just a simple game and began to evolve into a culture, a way of life for its dedicated players.
Shushay, that will be a kill, and that's a, looks like 2 for 1. Yellowstar getting away. Leonak, no health. Kuja quite down as well. Shushay gonna land the W, missing the Q, but Ash lands a slow. Can Kuja fall? Minions are in the base as well. Looks like they're just going to stop and go for the inhibitor instead. Cyanide will face tank this turret. The team is nearby. PK is dead, but there are 2 dead opponents, and the rest are healing. So they're going to get this turret. They're going to move on to the inhibitor. They have super minions in the base. Turrets are low. They're going to get the inhib, and they're going to keep moving forward. 4v3 in the enemy base. John will shield the turret. They're just going to jump onto this turret right now. Cyanide FI taking the damage. He's going to be okay with this. 1 turret is down. They're going to back off for now. Leonak taking a lot of damage from Ash. 300 damage. Crits are out there. That is 1 turret dead, 2nd turret dead. Fnatic going to win the Season 1 championship if they can hold on. This Nexus will go down. Congratulations to Fnatic winning the Season 1. GG.
GG indeed.
The universe of League of Legends is rich in stories and mysteries. Charismatic champions with incredible powers have emerged, each with their own past and quest. Names like Ahri, Yasuo, and Jinx have become legends, not only for their battlefield skills, but also for the captivating stories that surround them. Each match is a new adventure, a chance to dive into the unknown and forge one's own story. What truly propelled League of Legends to the heights of fame was its competitive aspect. The Worlds, a global competition that brings together the best teams in the world, has become the unmissable event of each year. Fans around the world come together to watch their favorite teams compete for the prestigious Summoners Cup. Each edition of the Worlds is like a new chapter in LoL's history, with turnarounds, mind-blowing strategies, and moments of pure adrenaline. League of Legends has transcended its status as a simple game to become a cultural phenomenon. Cosplays, fanfictions, and works of art all contribute to creating a universe that exceeds the limits of the virtual. Players meet at conventions like Gamescom and PX.
We have Renekton, Rammus, and Morgana. Renekton, you're the winner. I'm not sure where to put the microphone, but what went into making this costume? How long did it take?
I'm French. I'm French.
Oh, he's French. Well, we'll just admire then. Merci beaucoup. It is beautiful.
For those who may not be familiar, League of Legends is a MOBA that pits two teams of 5 players against each other in an intense battle for supremacy. These teams are composed of a top laner, a mid laner, a bot laner also called ADC who works with the support, and the 5th player is called the jungler, who performs various tasks in the jungle including killing monsters or assisting teammates depending on the situation. Each player embodies a unique champion with special skills, whose ultimate goal is to destroy the opposing nexus. At the beginning of the game, each player has 500 gold, an essential currency to buy items adapted to their champion. The key to wealth lies in the last hits on creeps, computer-controlled units that appear on the 3 lanes of the map. These creeps move along the lanes toward the opposing nexus, or simply by killing enemies. In the ruthless universe of LoL, money is king, offering a decisive advantage over opponents. As you know, to win, just tear down the opposing nexus. But just is a significant word, as with the vagaries of LoL, such as trolling teammates or smurfs on the opposing team. His name resonates like an echo of triumphs and conquests, but behind this fame lies a story rich in challenges overcome, failures transformed into victories. Prepare yourself to plunge into the captivating world of an invisible pivot and discover what makes him so much more than just a coach in the thrilling universe of League of Legends. This person and their team represent the stabilizing element that keeps the best teams in the world together and are the architects of the most exciting moments in the game. But let's make way for the greatest League of Legends coach, Koma. Formerly nicknamed Littleba, in the StarCraft universe, this professional player played in the highest Korean league, the Champions. However, it only remained there from the end of 2011 to the end of 2012, as it was considered low, which corresponds to the period of the IEM Hanover. The IEM Hanover are the first Worlds and not the Worlds of the S1, which were an invitational tournament, and not Worlds because there was no tournament or selection for the teams. It was simply an invitation from the teams by Riot, which took place in a small room with only 100 spectators, unlike the IEM Hanover where there were several Worlds like StarCraft, Counter-Strike and, of course, League of Legends. In front of League of Legends, there were 11,000 spectators. In addition, LoL's stage was 30 times larger than other games. The scene at StarCraft was very small, as was the scene at Counter-Strike, while the scene at League of Legends was huge. At the time, League of Legends was by far the most played game. 80% of video game players played League of Legends. In addition, at IEM Hanover, there were 14,000 spectators, 13,000 of whom were watching LOL. This is why Riot cut short the rights of the IEM and took back all the rights, because they realized the too big hype. During their S1 Invitational tournament, they did not realize the enthusiasm, because there were only 100 spectators. At that time, the craze for League of Legends was at its height. A professional, having also made his debut on StarCraft, has created a renowned organization, eager not to miss the League of Legends trend. This is how SK Telecom T1, also known as T1, entered the Korean competitive landscape. The official Korean circuit, the Champions, allowed teams to have 2 separate teams. It was up to Koma, an eminent strategist, to set up these 2 teams. After 2 months of intensive research, he assembled 2 courses with very different profiles. The first, SKT1 No. 1, consisted of players with proven talent, whose reputation was well established, and the second, SKT1 No. 2, was a promising team. Even too promising because yes, in this team there was the player, the one who was able to terrorize pro players when he was only a high school student, the one who didn't even have to take the tests to get into Team SKT1 No. 2. Here is the arrival of Giajonpa, better known as Faker.
Faker is still Faker, the best in the world of mid lane.
SKT reign continues. They win their 3rd world championship.
And since then, Faker's been winning world titles with a chance to win 4 in 5 years.
The legend of Lee Sang-hya, one of the most iconic esports players, begins in the city of Seoul, South Korea. Born on May 7, 1996, Faker grew up in an environment where video games were ubiquitous. From an early age, he showed a special interest in online games, spending hours playing various popular titles. However, it was with the advent of League of Legends that Faker's fate took a turning point. As a teenager, he was captivated by this game and quickly excelled in the virtual arena. His natural talent for the game and ability to make quick decisions earned him early fame among his peers. Here are some clips of him under the pseudonym of Gianjampa. Yes, it is absolutely terrifying to be so strong at 16 years old.
넌 이미 죽어있다. 단지 아직 깨닫지 못했을 뿐. 넌 이미 죽어있다. 단지 아직 깨닫지 못했을 뿐.
This rough diamond is surrounded by a team for the least particular composed of Impact, which is a top laner just changed role. Of Benji, the right hand to Fake, the one who controls the jungle like no one thanks to his unparalleled aggressiveness, but who has so far tasted only the Korean Division 2 and had just missed the tests of Coma. Of Pamanda, who had just finished his military service and who brought his experience and wisdom to the team. And finally Piglet, a guy who had to play in secret in the PC Bang because his parents did not allow him to do it. However, his aggressive gameplay as an ADC was the fifth player that was needed for this team. The eyes of Coma, the legendary coach of SK Telecom T1, scrutinized each member of his team with unparalleled intensity. He knew that the balance between personalities, skills, and playing styles was essential to form a team that could compete at the highest level. While other observers doubted the cohesion of this heterogeneous team, Coma saw immense potential, a nascent alchemy ready to be revealed to the world. Behind the scenes of the competitive scene, the atmosphere was charged with electricity as SK Telecom T1 prepared to enter the Champions Arena. Fans, analysts, and opponents were eagerly waiting to see what this new team would accomplish, aware that they were witnessing something special, something extraordinary in the making. And then came the day of the first match. The stadium was packed. The screams of the fans resounded in the air as SK Telecom T1 made its entrance on the stage. Faker, bearing the weight of an entire nation's expectations on his shoulders, walked confidently alongside his teammates. They knew that this moment was the beginning of an epic adventure, a quest for glory and recognition. However, their first match was against CJ Entus Blaze, a formidable opponent with a very famous player. They had the best mid laner Ambition. Ambition was a force not to be underestimated, a master mid laner capable of turning a game around with his exceptional skill. His name was synonymous with dominance and respect in the world of League of Legends. Facing him, Faker, though talented, seemed to be in the shadow of this living legend. Deep down, he knew he had very little chance of winning. He knew that a young high school student had very little chance of beating a respected professional. However,
and I mean, I know there could be situations sometimes where you hit recall and you just stop paying attention.
Actually,
but look at this. A big tower dive. They're going to come down this bottom lane. Captain Jack the first target. And Lustboy's not going to escape either, I don't think. He's going to flash. Maybe we'll get away. No, there's a spear. A double kill for Faker. What a statement by this solo queue hero. Man.
So actually what I think happened right there was that Ambition hit 6 and he was in the middle of his...
Mandu's looking brave, but Faker even under turret.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious to see how well Captain Jack would do in this lane because he's been typically a relatively weak lane.
Whoa, Ambition! What? Faker just executes Ambition in that mid lane.
In this spring split, they finished third, 3 places ahead of T1 number 1, which completely changed the game. T1 number 1 was supposed to be better than T1 number 2, and this team was supposed to be well in place compared to the new team. Their ego was shattered, they were mentally broken, but for Coma, it was a win. The nugget straight out of high school that he found only lost 367 games during his career, which seems huge. However, his win rate is about 68%. Yes, Faker is a magician. That said, all these victories would not be possible without the strategic vision of Coma. A few years after finishing in third place in the spring split, Coma decided to change the roster by replacing Impact, Piglet, and Pumandu with Bang, Wolf, and Marin. He also made one of the most controversial decisions in League of Legends, replacing Faker with EasyHoon.
What's this I spy in the SKT booth? It's not Faker, it's EasyHoon. Faker, here's how we operate. We pick our star player into an unfavorable matchup and then we kick him out when he doesn't do well.
So here we are in 2015 with a roster of Bang, Wolf, Marin, EasyHoon, and Benji, with Faker set back. It seems unreal to tell the greatest League of Legends player to sit down and just watch EasyHoon play the Spring Playoffs, which are a series of playoffs between the best teams of the regular season to determine the Spring Split champion. The stakes were high, the goal was not to lose, and Faker watched. And yet, they won without Faker's help.
우승한 것도 기분이 좋긴 하지만 저는 좀 아쉬움이 많이 가거든요. 이제 다음부터 경기 나와가지고 지금 형보다 더 하드 캐리하는 모습을 보여드리고
팀 같은 경우에 진짜 근데 또 상혁이 혼자 있는 팀이 아니기 때문에 코칭 스태프는 이제 팀 단위로 봐야 되기 때문에 어쩔 수 없었는데.
At that time, the GOAT was frustrated, but he had mostly fallen from his throne. Being relegated to the role of spectator was a new and confusing experience for him. He had always been at the heart of the action, the face of the team, and now he had to stand back and watch his teammates take the lead. It was a test of patience and humility for someone who had always been at the top of his game. That is why he worked hard during training. He showed resilience. Behind his smile was born a new determination to take his place, to reclaim what was due. And then, just when everything seemed lost to reclaim his place as a mid-laner, an opportunity presented itself. An opportunity for Faker to return to the forefront and prove once again his invaluable value for SK Telecom T1. As the World Championship approached, SKT seemed to be Korea's best prospect for a third consecutive championship. For Koma, this tournament was of particular importance. He was no longer at the head of a young and daring team that could win thanks to their mechanical skills. This time, he experienced both the thrill of world victory and the pain of not participating in the tournament. This failure strengthened him. No team had ever achieved the feat of winning 2 world championships, but this year was shaping up to be a game-changer. SKT walked away to the final with disconcerting ease, passing almost unnoticed in a group including the same EDG opponents who had beaten them in the MSI a few months before. While the spotlight was on the main arena, the excitement was at its height. The fans were eagerly waiting to see if SKT, after sweeping their opponents in the previous phases, would retain their dominance until the end. On the other hand, their opponent in the final was a formidable force, a team that had also left its mark on the history of esports.
코타이거스는 SK텔레콤과 정반대에 있는 팀이라고 할 수 있죠. 왜냐하면 만든 지 1년도 되지 않았습니다. 그리고 페이커처럼 믿고 따를 수 있는 그런 리더가 슈퍼스타가 있는 팀도 아니거든요.
엄청난 이변까지는 아닌 것 같아요. 전 개인적으로 코타이거즈가 SK텔레콤 T1의 전승 우승을 저지하는 팀이 될 것 같고
저희는 이길 수 있다고 믿고 있고 그거대로 연습해서 이겨볼 생각입니다.
The time had come. The SKT players were ready, their determination at its peak. They knew that every move, every decision, would be crucial in this battle for world supremacy. The faces were tense but imbued with unwavering confidence.
SKT coming out much stronger. Maybe this is the Pandora's box. We see a Raptor cloak on Wolf as well. They're going to be going for the turret. That's going to be an inhibitor. 45 seconds onto Curl. Gorilla just came up. Does Ku have what it takes to keep their dreams alive for the Summoners Cup? And it looks like the opponent. Ku Tigers, last stand. 2 inhibitors down. Here SKT comes. On the hunt, goes in. That's going to be Hojin in a real sticky situation. He goes down a full 3-man Gnar ultimate. That's going to be smacked down now. Eyes onto the 80 carry, but the support hits. It's going to be Kuro out safely. Gray, however, has to run away from his base. SK Telecom looking to take down the final Nexus turrets. It does not look good for Kuro and his team. Ku Tigers are falling. SKT will be your first ever 2-time world champions! Come out the victors and get to hoist the Summoners Cup a second time.
Faker, Bengi, and Koma, the repeat champions here. And if Faker's legacy wasn't cemented enough, that last performance on Rise, he made it look easy.
Faker, playmaker. He showed up, especially in the last game, had a good final overall. Other members from SKT will always have to highlight Bengi. In this game on Elise, had a massive impact, but Bang really for me as well as an AD carry.
I can't believe how much restraint SKT has. Just grab it.
As a team, they will do so. SK Telecom T1, your 2-time world champions.
They did it. The victory was there. They had written a new chapter in esports history, adding a new chapter to their already glorious legend. For SKT players, it was more than just a win. It was the validation of all the hours spent training, preparing, pushing their limits. And for Faker, it was the return of the GOAT to his throne. Then the year after,
time goes between the goalposts. Cubase under threat. Deadly flourish as Samsung are under pressure. This is buying time for those super minions to pour in. kick around. Crown's able to flash so he doesn't get caught, but Cubey's down.
And it's a war of attrition. They're just waiting for wrecking them in a fight.
Duke flashes forward, chomps down to kill Crown. SK Telecom have got 2, make that 3 kills. The curtain call is a fitting end to the World Championship as Samsung Galaxy are being dove under their tower. SK Telecom have overcome every challenge. They are the undisputed best team in the world. The SKT reign continues. They win their 3rd World Championship.
And you better believe the crowd's giving a standing ovation after that one. This was an incredibly hard-fought series. SKT had to earn this one till the very end. The way they played the last 20 minutes of that 5th game was incredibly clean.
They did it again. Keikoma has built his reputation through innovative coaching methods and an ability to inspire his players. His strategic approach and deep understanding of the game were the foundations of the continued success of SK Telecom T1. We are in 2017, at the heart of the most prestigious competition in esports, the world. The tension is palpable. Expectations are at their peak as 2 titans prepare to compete in the grand finale, SKT T1 and Samsung Galaxy. SKT T1, a legendary team, is about to defend its World Championship title. They dominated the League of Legends scene for years, leaving their indelible imprint on history. But in front of them stands Samsung Galaxy, a formidable force determined to bring down the giants and seize the supreme title. The stadium is packed to capacity. The screams of the fans echo in the air as both teams make their entrance onto the stage. It's a grand spectacle, a moment when a sport reaches unprecedented heights.
아마 저희 팀이 이렇게 3연승을 하면 저는 그거는 다른 팀이 절대 못 깰 거라는 생각을 많이 했어요. 그래서 역사에 이름을 하나 쓰는 게 되지 않을까 싶어서 네, 저한테는 굉장히 명예로운 일이 될 것 같아요.
이렇게 되는 게 좀 신기하기도 하고 이제 한 번 더 만나서 복수할 기회가 왔다는 게 또 좋기도 하고.
Samsung Galaxy were a good team, but not a world-class team. You don't really believe in the team that barely squeaks in versus SKT, the juggernaut.
The undisputed best team in the world. They win their 3rd World Championship.
SKT가 진짜 그냥 다 찍어 누르고 다닐 때는, 말 그대로 다 부수고 다닐 때는 또 그 중심에 역시나 페이커가
항상 똑같은 이제 그거 하고 항상 저도 이겨서 항상 비슷한 표정을 짓고 있기 때문에.
Complete to start a fight in the last 2 minutes. Mid flash ult, and it's going to beat the Quicksilver Sash out, but it's just a trade of flash ulti for an active item, and Ruler is completely fine. Meanwhile, the bottom side, Cuvée takes his toll. He's inside the base, and there they go! Going for another one. Crown does kite away, but the Let's Bounce brings Ambition back into safety. Another bit of poke out from Bang, and it does not matter. The top inhibitor dies, and simply there is no fight to be had for SKT. The bottom gone as well. SKT's base in shambles. And the fight continues as Bang now forced back away. Ruler safe enough. Kites away from Faker. Good damage here. Gets the knockup. A bit of healing as well. The barrier pop of Faker. Almost gets himself the solo kill. Now forced to run away, but kites forward. Gets away from the knockup. Gets rooted in, and Crown gets himself that kill in the mid lane. 5-0 in the game as they keep pushing forward. Super minions in tow. Samsung Galaxy only give up 1 turret this entire game and absolutely dominate SK Telecom. A complete domination to this one. They look for a couple more kills to pad the stats, but there is no way back in this one for SKT. The slicing Maelstrom in there. 7-0 in the game. 2 more to go. Samsung Galaxy strike down SKT in the first.
They were playing probably the best league they've ever played.
1경기를 이기고 나서는 아, 우리가 이길 수 있다. 이런 생각을 다 가지고 있었던 것 같아요.
Be the one that the inhibitor turret falls, and if it does, SKT once again likely to retreat without a structure to fight back for them. And QSS is now ready again on the side of Ruler. Peanuts flashes up, another big one for that potential fight. But Corker Game is so far back. Look at this, he's playing so safe. He knows he could be a target. Cannot be found. A few more attacks will knock down the inhibitor. The flash forward, looking for the play, not going to get anything for themselves. Goody blocks out a little bit. Here comes the Cataclysm, and it could be just that for SKT as they're forced to retreat the Realm Warp just to buy some time. The Quicksilver Sash gets rid of suppression, but it does mean the damage comes through to
Nexus turrets left remaining as one kill has already come through. Samsung Galaxy hoping to knock down these bricks and build that foundation of greatness. Faker silent, the flash for the knockup, but no kill to come through just yet. The turrets fall, and the Nexus in front of their eyes as well, looking to snuff them out as another kill comes through. Kube transforms back.
So they knew that Malzahar was a good champion, and actually no one else did.
4 kills already. One man stands alive, and he's going to fall as another kill comes through. And Samsung Galaxy are 1 game away from greatness.
항상 잠들기 전에 SK 우승하고 싶다 이런 생각을 하면 잠이 들었거든요.
Samsung are 1 win away from being crowned the world champions.
It's one thing to say, it's another thing to do. So many teams at this point have been 2 wins up on SKT.
SK도 역전을 진짜 잘하는 팀.
생각을 하면서 좀 하면은 나도 좀 위험할 수 있겠다 이런 생각을 좀 많이 하게 돼서 되게 실수가 많이 나와서.
Ruler to me has always felt, I guess, a little safe. There were probably some moments that he could have gone forward and didn't quite.
본능적으로 이제 하는 플레이들은 일단 뒤 없이 하는 플레이들이 많은데
또 가장 좋은 건 역시 승부욕이 강한 거 그런 쪽인 것 같아요. 또 SK 같은 경우는 가장 높은 커리어를 가지고 있는 팀이고 팀 어떻게 이제 이렇게 생각했던 것 같은데.
Flash on Ruler. There's no. And Samsung Galaxy push mid first. As you can see, the flash hold left. They've caught Faker. They've got the CC. The mid laner is down. The unkillable Demon King has done just that. As Ruler stays in, life stealing. In the back line, they found more as Hootie does not have a way out. Pops to Yolt, but he has no exit route. 2 more autos will kill him down, but he gets to run away. They twitch to their aggro. They knock down Wolf instead. 5v3 in mid. In the moment of truth, they flash on Faker, and they take out the heart of SK Telecom.
Faker had no flash when the fight started. They knew that, so they used everything to kill him.
A game-winning pick, a championship-winning pick for Ruler. That might be the Flash R that signals the end of the SKT dynasty. There are no turrets. It is 5 versus 3. Hootie, do you have what it takes to win the game? Big certainly does not. Ruler on the Nexus. The upset is complete as the kills come through. The SKT dynasty is over. All hail the new kings. Samsung Galaxy, your 2017 World Champions!
That is an entire year waiting to get back to this moment, waiting for the rematch, and they made it count. Every single player talked about revenge against SKT, and they got it. Faker.
SKT finally lost at Worlds. Never happened before. And then they're gone.
월드컵 들어올렸을 때 그런 정말 제가 평생 살면서 잊지 못할 감동인 것 같고요. 다시 한번 느껴보고 싶어요. 다시 한번 느껴보고 싶고.
내 최고의 폼을 계속 유지한다는 것 자체가 어찌 보면 불가능에 가깝다고 생각해요. 그걸 해냈기 때문에, 해냈던 팀들이 몇 팀 또 없기 때문에 그 팀들에 대해서는 정말 우리가 전설이라고 얘기할 수 있는 거고. 그러니까 리그 오브 레전드 역사가 이제 어느덧 조금 더 지나고 하면은 막 거의 10년이 돼간다고 생각하는데 그 과정 속에서 스토리가 짧다면 짧지만 길다면 길게 이제 쌓이고 있는 거잖아요. 올해가 굉장히 중요할 것 같아요. 계속해서 이런 것들은 결국 또 어떤 식으로 결말이 나올지.
This was the end of the SKT dynasty, and it was a hard blow for the team and for Faker. After tasting victory over and over again, this bitter defeat was a stark reminder of the fragility of glory and the constant need to surpass oneself. But even worse, 2018 turned out to be a dark time for SKT T1. They struggled throughout the season, recording disappointing results and failing to regain their former glory. The fans were disappointed, the critics were angry, and for K-Coma, it was a period of profound questioning. After years of phenomenal success with SKT T1, K-Coma decided to leave the organization, joining Vici Gaming in late 2019 to further develop his coaching career in the LPL.
우리의 생활은 끊임없이 경쟁하는 세계이다. 그래서 우리는 많은 시간을 투입하고 스트레스도 극복하는 과정에서 성장할 것이다. 과거의 영광은 나를 멈추게 하지 않을 것이다. 지금 나는 다시 시작할 것이다. 我是 VG 쿠마.
Vici Gaming's 2020 season was far from perfect. The team finished the spring split in 9th place overall with a record of 7 wins and 9 losses, and closed the LPL summer split in 11th place with only 8 wins and as many losses. Even though Vici Gaming did not reach its goal of qualifying for the playoffs in the 2020 season, many believe the team showed a clear improvement in its level of play compared to the previous year. It's a pity. I found that the team had a lot of potential with Q, Lien, and Eboy in their ranks. I hope that the next coach can do better than Keikoma. Spoiler alert, Coach Hart did better than Keikoma by winning the LPL spring title in 2021. In the world of esports, the Asian Games represent a moment of great prestige and excitement. This event, often compared to the Olympics for its regional scope, brings together the best Asian talents in a fierce competition. This year, an exciting new addition to the list of disciplines, League of Legends. For South Korea, the birthplace of the game and the home of champions, the pressure was immense. Kespa, the backbone of Korean esports, quickly established a competitive team, led by the legendary coach Koma. Considered one of the game's master tacticians, Koma was the obvious choice to guide the team to victory. However, from the beginning, dark clouds loomed overhead. Controversial decisions by the Federation cast doubt among the fans, shadowing the composition of the team and raising questions about the tactical choices. However, it was not because of Koma. I kept telling KSBA that the schedule was bad. The players have a very busy schedule at this point. They have MSI summer split playoffs. When you play 5 to 7 players on a roster, it takes a long time to select who is the best. There are too many things to consider when working with these 10 players. The final list of the 6 players must be set as soon as possible. But the fans didn't want to hear anything and the critics turned angry, and that anger focused on Koma himself.
죄송합니다. 근데 개인이 아니어서 근데 그 부분은 아무리 제가 생각해도 이해가 안 돼서 예를 들어 제 개인이 뭐 안 맞는 게 있으면 제가 개인이면은 뭐 방송을 키고 뭐든 뭐 진짜 기자님 뭐 아시는 기자님들 단독 인터뷰를 하든 다 하겠는데 제 개인이 아니어서 되게 더 중립성 지키려고도 했습니다. 그리고 이제 결정이 강행되고 그쪽 이제 갔을 때도 이제 선수들도 다 이제 진짜 열심히 하려고 다 모여줘서 내 생각이 다르다 뭐 이렇게 해봤자 다 와서 하고 있는데 더 나아지는 게 있지 않다고 생각했습니다. 이 기자회견 열어달라고 한 것도 다 마무리돼서 오늘 바로 와서 한 겁니다. 다 같이 얘기하고 싶었고 또 얘기한 거는 생방으로 다 같이 얘기하고 싶어서요. 정말 누구보다 중립성 지키고 일을 하고 있는데 벌써 이렇게 일한다면 제가 지금 아닌 이 이후에 이제 또 다른 코칭 스텝이나 또 다른 이제 사람이 만약에 했을 경우에는 다 또 이제 일일이 다 반응해주고 뭐 진짜 다 뭐 소통하고 해야 되는데 아시안 게임 국가대표직이 그렇게 하는 게 맞는지도 지금은 솔직히 잘 모르겠습니다. 그래서 지금도 궁금한 거는 잘 모르겠어서 한번 켜본 겁니다.
His departure left a void in the world of Korean esports, but it was also a poignant reminder of the pressure and stress that public figures can suffer. Koma remains a legend of esports, but he is also a human being with his limits. After stepping back from the competitive scene, Koma devoted his time to personal projects and reflection on his future. He took advantage of this break to relax, explore new opportunities, focus on his well-being, and especially take care of his family and daughter because, yes, Koma is a married father.
담아둔 너의 기억들을 잠시 돌아보게 불 좀 꺼줄래
스스디 속의 기억들을 다시 불러내어 마음을 달래봐
왜 이렇게 늦게 오셨어요?
스스디 속에 우리
듀오 완전 네. 잘못했어요? 뭐 잘못한 거 없지? 네네 잘못한 거 없죠. 솔직히 근데 뭐 잘못한 거 오늘은 없는데 예전에 많이 오늘 좀 바쁜 거 봐.
내 마음을
들어가세요. 빠이. 안녕히 계세요.
너무 뛰어왔습니다.
다음에 봬요.
너무 뛰어왔잖아.
왜 이렇게 화질이 90년대요?
I'm really bad boy.
I'm really.
Oh, I'm gonna break your heart.
함께 say 함께
담아봐 우리 기억.